All right, sorry guys. So I totally changed locations, couple times actually, and got my daughter. So if you hear any crinkling or any kind of chomping and chewing, she got some Halloween candies, so she gonna be enjoying a little bit of that while I finish up this video. But I think where I left off was basically saying, like, I definitely want to do more of, like, not even want to, I am doing more of an intuitive truth seeking when I use any type of cards. But I do find that it is helpful to utilize the books that are provided in most decks, Oracle or Tarot, because there's information in there, especially if I'm just recording my processing of the information. There's definitely, I'm sure, gems that are needed for someone out there. So that's kind of why I was like, maybe there's something that's going to be said that might hit a little bit different than what is being spoken freely. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure these are all good. Okay, so we got expansion. So that's where we are. We're rising. We're on that breath train of filling our bodies with that life source energy. And normally that, for me, is, and like I think it said in the card, is facilitated, is encouraged, is grown from being in nature, you know, allowing the true source of creation to come through all the beauty of creation that surrounds us in nature. But yeah, with that, let's continue on for the earth signs. This deck, I should have cleaned it a little bit more, but okay, some more stuff. I knew there was some stuckness in this deck. Like, Spirit wanted to take a bit, some time on the answer, I guess. So we have, this resonates with me. Let's see out there if there's anyone that this resonates with, just because of the stuff that I have been going through, triggers and traumas that I'm transmuting right now in the last couple days with that water energy just rolling, you know, just around the river bend, flowing with the river. But you also need to learn to make a decision. There's a decision to be made right now with earth sign energy. There's situations arising, emotions, experiences happening that require you to, yes, go with the flow, ride the wave, but at the same time, you will, as the falls come up down river. Oh, yeah, as the falls come up, you see the Vailele waterfall. You know, you don't want to crash over it, but there has to be a decision to expand yourself into more divine spaces. So I'm going to read, oh, and this is card 11 energy. Actually, when I picked up my daughter from school just now, she looked at the clock and was like, oh, Mom, it's 1:11. Synchronicities. Okay, so we have the card card number 11, make a decision. Let's just see what the book interpretation is. So make a decision. Your sheer determination is highlighted at this time. Highlighted, like something that's highlighted is bright, you know, bright and neon and fluorescent and glowing, like how this book is right now. Highlighted like the wings of this divine goddess, reminiscent of the sun, the sunshine. I don't know if you guys can see it, but hopefully, yes. Your spirit will support your desires and manifestations. You know, I'm feeling like there's a slight fear of, like, am I making the right decision? Am I Am I in the right space right now? Am I supposed to go left or right or straight ahead or sit right here? Where am I supposed to go? Don't worry about the hows, the whys, the wheres, the whens. Worry about your energy right now, because nothing's going to manifest in the way that you want if your current energy is chaotic or resistant or too imbalanced with emotions or thought process, you know? So right now, just trust that your spirit will support your desires and manifestations. The ability to create or destroy has always been within your skill base. You have the wisdom and confidence needed to use these skills constructively. Also, before I continue, I do apologize for the rattling noise. It's something in my dash, which I don't know, I have to look at, or it is what it is. So pardon it if you do hear it a little bit more, and I do have the AC going a bit too. So let me try to speak up. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. But reminders, you have the wisdom and confidence needed to use these skills constructively. Now is the time to act if you know what it is you want to accomplish and why. Since the powers of transformation are at your command, change your desires into objectives, your thoughts into actions, your goals into achievements. So that's coming from the original card we pulled was expansion. So once you reach that rise in that understanding of self and you resort to nature to fill your cup, then it's time to make a decision, you know. And you might feel like you're falling over a waterfall. You might feel like, oh no, I'm not sure if this is the right, but trust spirit that this is the right time and the right space for you to say. And it doesn't even have to be that deep. I'm hearing like, you don't have to sit there and write a whole fucking script of what decision and what and like when it's supposed to be executed. It's just a simple decision of, I will trust what is meant will be, and that as I think, so shall it be. I will trust that what I am meant to learn in the present will find me, will show, will reveal itself. Could be in this video, could be some, I don't know. That's why we're here. We're just kind of thinking out loud, guys. So also we got vulnerability. This is what I'm doing right now. This is me being vulnerable by sitting in front of a camera, feeling that I look completely ridiculous and might even sound ridiculous, you know, might not make sense to people, but in essence, I'm bearing my vulnerability. I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable so that I can grow. Because the next card is amplify your positive emotions. That's almost the decision that we got to make. The decision we have to make is to be vulnerable to self. Be vulnerable to the authenticity that we carry within ourselves. Stripped, maskless, you know? And then our self-talk. Make sure that it is radiating, vibrating on a frequency of love and trust and truth and positivity. I just love the illustrations on these cards, so I'll just show it again. I'm going to read a little into the vulnerability card because I'm being called to, because that one is making my heart chakra feel a little pressed on, you know what I mean? So there's something to be said. So the card number is 34 if anyone wants to reference it, if they have this deck or, you know, would like to look it up. Moving too fast. So vulnerability. Let's see what this has to say. You may be feeling like you should withdraw. This is an opportunity to wait and regroup. This is interesting that we're getting this after the make a decision card, but I feel like with the first card we got, expansion, that's the time to really sit with self, expand the mind, align thyself, and then you can make a decision. But I'm feeling like we kind of go backwards. Your decision has to be based on the fact that you need to be vulnerable, that you will experience vulnerability in this journey, you know, in this flow of life. But it's saying, yeah, take some time, take the opportunity to wait and regroup if you're not feeling 100% sure before you fall off this waterfall. And look how interesting. The vulnerability card is surrounded by water essence. You see over here? And she's in this like little leaf, this little dried leaf that looks like a canoe. Like she's been floating downriver, like I was saying, just around the river bend. She's been floating downstream. She's probably had a long journey. We can relate to life as being a long journey. And she's taken the time to rest and trust the flow of where she's going, you know? I mean, we don't just be hopping in a car and falling asleep at the wheel, or, you know, putting someone in the driver's seat that we're like, you got it? You got it? You okay? You got me? Because I'm going to fall asleep. Like, you have to trust who's in the driver's seat. And usually it's our higher selves, which is fed by source, knowledge, inspiration, and light. But she trusts. You trust the process, the flow of where you're meant to be. But in order to do that, you have to be vulnerable. You can't always be trying to take the wheel and take control and take the paddle. So this card says you might even be feeling overwhelmed. Hold up, rewind. After it said take the opportunity to wait and regroup, it says you are in need of some rest and relaxation. And I definitely see that that's true, because as much as I've been kind of riled up in the last couple of days with emotions, I've definitely tried to not suppress it, sit with it for sure, acknowledge it, look at it, talk to it. But at the same time, I'm being very vulnerable, and I'm allowing myself to be okay with just taking some time to process. You don't always have to have a quick reaction. You don't always have to be mad. You know, for me, my Aries and Mars sign definitely is an aggressive and responsive sign. It's definitely that fire sign. So it's okay to have that, but know your balance. Know that you have to balance the scales if they're tipped a little bit, one or the other way. And take some time to rest. Take some time to allow spirit to take the oars, or take the paddle, or take the wheel, and just kind of guide you through where you need to be. Oh, this is kind of a long part of the journey, or this is kind of a part, let me take over for you. Trust, trust, trust. So it says, notice the season and the changes that are taking place out in nature. Right now we have Lono season. In Hawaii, it's still hot comparative to the continent, or other parts of the world. Yeah, it's hot here, humid here all year round, but we definitely go through our seasons. It's usually like that dry, longer, that dry summer months, to like that rainy season. Today's a beautiful day, but we are getting into cooler nights and stuff like that. So take notes, pay attention to the elements that are changing around you, because it's symbolic of like what's going on within you too. We are responsive. We are co-creating with nature, with the universe. So we can't just think that we don't affect one another. Things are continually evolving. Think about the clouds you see in the sky. They are constantly moving. Amen to that. So they're constantly moving, changing, and reshaping themselves. Allow yourself to connect with Mother Earth and nature in a deeper way. Align your rhythm with the heartbeat of the earth and slow your thoughts and emotions down. This is definitely something I for sure am glad I'm reading from the book, because it goes hand in hand with what I feel is needed to express and what I need to hear. Trust that everything will work out. The signs that things work themselves out are all around you. Take notice. Okay. And then, of course, now that we're at peace, now that we're at rest, now that we're not trying to paddle and maneuver our boats, our canoes, our vehicles, our vessels in a direction that we're not even really meant to go in. We're just lost and taking turns and shit. Like, now that we have caught our breath and are able to sit with self and allow direction to be given, it's time to then amplify even more so your positive emotions. You know, allow yourself to really truly radiate that, despite what the fuck is going on, because not everything's gonna be peaches and cream and beautiful rainbows and butterflies every day. Some days are stormy, some days are fucking heavy rain, some days are just overcast and brewing with like imminent bad weather, but that's okay, it's not here. And even if it was here, what is the space that occupies within you? And what is the space that you occupy within the universe, which is without or outside of you? I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm just kind of going with the flow. So those were the cards that we got. I definitely feel like there was a message in that. Even though these are kind of light cards, it's just intuitively reading into them. I enjoy the artwork from this oracle deck. I kind of grew up on this type of fairy resonance. Oh look, catch your breath. That's exactly what we need to do. Catch your breath. Trust the process. Breathe through the triggers and traumas. And look, she's hugging this tree. The trees provide the oxygen. Trees provide life for us. And in turn, what are we giving it? Connect, reconnect. In that connection, there is electric or electrifying knowledge, wisdom to be had, to be obtained and received. I see butterflies of transformation, acorns. It's like collect your little seedlings of information and plant them to grow. For you to grow, for you to expand. Remember, the first card was expansion. And that's what we're doing. We're rising in ourselves. So rise up, kings and queens and gods and goddesses. Rise up. So I think I'm going to pull from another deck, but let me grab it real quick. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled from, or not pulled, I went ahead and grabbed the Intuitive Night Goddess if you guys wanted to check this out. I like the deck illustrations, and I definitely felt connected to it the first time I got it and used it, after I cleared the intentions. But I'm going to gently clear this deck before I really try to pull anything. And yeah, so again, as a reminder, I mean, anybody watching this, disregard what sign you are. I know the title and like the content of this video is more for earth signs, because that's what I am, and I'm just connecting and saying extra hey, what's up to the earth signs. But if anything resonates with you, then that is what is meant for you to hear, so regardless of your sign. But let's just take, oh, they wanted me to know some shit, but I'm gonna put back, hold on, I'm still clearing. Yes, there's way too many cards to kind of read, so I'm gonna go ahead and it's okay. Okay. Sometimes these cards flop out and then they're like, ooh, they kind of get all nervous and they hide from you, tuck under the table or under a chair or something. So what's uncomfortable about being in the car is when it falls. You literally you literally have to be a contortionist to fucking grab shit. Okay, we got 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups. I'm seeing fruitfulness. Why was this hiding though? Why'd you run away, girl? How come you was bailing on me over here? Let me see. I'm gonna go and just consult, because I know there's abundance, but there's something that needs to be. Let me see. I love this illustration. This is balance. Like these cups are fruitful, and showing that we're in a space, or will be getting to a space, where we can sit back in comfort and relaxation and enjoy the abundance of these cups. Again, in like the Nature's Whisper deck, we had the expansion card, which had the little flowers. I don't know if they're morning glories or some kind of bluebells or something. I'm not sure the type of flower it was, but it reminded me of a cup. And so first card we got, 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups represents your abundance, your radiance, your gratitude. This is being grateful. Yes, grateful, gratitude. Reminding us that regardless of the journey and the turns, the pits, potholes, or whatever, to always hold gratitude for the lessons, for the journey, and like we also discussed, trust it. Trust the journey. So 9 of Cups. This goddess is surrounded by beautiful flowers and dancing cups. This is a card of true contentment, happiness, and delight. Enjoy the many gifts you possess, emotional abundance, love, connection. You have cultivated something beautiful. Let's say that again. I need to say that again for whoever's out there that needs to hear it, because I know Spirit's telling me, hear yourself. Say that again. Repeat. You have cultivated something beautiful, and the universe wants to remind you of it. Feel the gratitude. Yes. Thanks is a tool of infinite resource, helping us to shift our perspective and realize we are enough. That's that worthiness. All right. 9 of Cups again. And then what else did we get? Wow. Okay. We got 6 of Cups. You guys can see it. And then we got 4 of Swords, which was in reverse. So the 6 of Cups, I'm seeing the truth is there. I'm seeing it, the answer is right there. I'm seeing the whys, the hows, the instructions are there. It's just you're kind of clouded in a sense by a little bit of, I want to say, illusion. You're kind of clouded a little bit in your head. It's time to really sit down and organize, balance your thoughts. This is 6 of Cups, so wait, yeah, 6 of Cups. So I'm still kind of learning cards, and I'm still learning the process. Again, I usually like to do more of an intuitive read, but I kind of am blending the two because I'm learning, and I feel like what can be said, or what can be what messages may be in these little books is for someone out there to hear. If not necessarily for me, then it definitely could be for you. So 6 of Cups. A flower-headed goddess stands in the tranquil waters of a starry landscape. And this is just this is just pertaining to these particular cards of this deck. But yeah, they kind of give a description of it. So she's standing in the tranquil waters of a starry landscape. Glowing cups surround her, and she places her right hand into one as she dips herself into the surrounding waters. This is a card of innocence, representing a return to values untainted by ego, which is, you know, what I kind of envisioned when I said earlier, like it's time to kind of sit down and organize your thoughts, organize the process. That will help facilitate making a decision, because a decision I'm seeing has to be made, and it's a decision we've been putting off for us earth signs out there right now. We've been putting something off you know, sweeping it under the rug a little bit, not acknowledging it fully, not concluding anything from conversation or communication. So this is a time to really open up the honesty within yourself, organize your thoughts. But as it said, it's a time that innocence is represented, and that we need to return to an untainted ego, you know. Find abundance and beauty around you and begin to share its magic. Remember the ability for transformation and growth, the changing of the tides, and the ways in which we can reconnect to our emotions, relationships, and intuition. This is a pleasure-driven, desire-driven, wishful thinking-driven type of card. But there's an interconnectedness, there is a codependency between universe and self. We're sort of floating around with daisies and flowers and butterflies and shit in our head. We are still guided, we still have abundance, but we also have to kind of get rid of the cloud, the illusion. And then we got Four of Swords, but in reverse. Let me see. Four of Swords. Let me see what this is about. Four of Swords. This card calls for introspection, to go within again. Take time to think about being diligent and efficient with your resources and talents. Trust in the direction that you're headed and that you have the knowledge to act on your intentions. Bring projects to fruition. Allow challenges to arrive one at a time and let others wait. That's a good point to make, because we don't want to be too overwhelmed with the decision-making process, with the sitting at the table and figuring out a clarity, a focused train of thought, a focused and more centered state of being in order to navigate these rough waters and to navigate this journey. You know, we definitely need a time to regroup ourselves. So in a sense, it's calling for, look how he's kind of going off into, it almost looks like into the Russian wilderness or whatnot. This is time for seclusion, meditation, contemplation, and that's what we doing. I hoped, in a sense, some of these cards, some of these words of mine may have helped to some degree, even if it's the tiniest. I really hope that it's helped someone out there. I know this is just time that I take to myself to be able to kind of process what I'm going through. And like I stated in the beginning, I've been sort of going through some rapids, river rapids, you know, of energy that I'm trying to navigate. But again, in this reading, it's stating to surrender, to trust, to be able to know when is your time to rest. Rest the body's eyes, rest the spirit's eyes, you know, rest your soul to prepare for the journey of making those decisions, you know, to prepare for the journey to receive those full cups, you know, because you can't keep doing what you're doing on empty. So staying centered to the present moment right now for earth signs, for the collective in general, but more specifically speaking to my earth signs. Go within, seclude yourself if you need to be able to sort of meditate, contemplate, regroup, and go to nature for that. That's the best fucking therapy. Meditate literally and go sit by the ocean somewhere and allow spirit to speak and to fill life within you with creations, abundance. It comes straight from the source. This is what we need. So yeah, go sit yourself in front of some kind of tree or something and go get you some me time, you know. And if you don't have, you live in a city somewhere or something, like, Go pull up your ideal type of nature, whether it's by the ocean or in the forest or on the mountains or whatever. Like, pull up some images of that and meditate on that. You know, imagine yourself there, because it does wonders to the blocks in your mind and the blocks in your body to just sit and breathe. Remember, catch your breath. Fill your person, your vessel, with life force and life source. So anyway, guys, I got to go. I hope you enjoyed this random car talk. It was supposed to be a mirror talk at home, but it turned into an on-the-go type of video. So I hope you guys enjoyed and got some truths from it. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Love, light, and always aloha.